Hey, welcome back to your two favorite guys on the air. This is Jaws on Sports. You got Mike and Zach here. And hey, folks, let me tell you, we missed it by a couple of weeks, but this is our second anniversary show, and it's going to be a good one, like they always are. But, you only have an anniversary once or twice or maybe never. I don't know. But this is our second anniversary show, and we are glad to be back with you. Zach, how are you doing?
Doing okay. Um, like I told you, you didn't take me out for dinner, so I don't think it's a anniversary, but it's cool. We just did a little talk show just to blabber about stuff. I didn't really know when we started that the whole talk show thing was so widespread. It seems like everyone does that now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm just glad to do it for fun and we're not just some bozos talking nonsense. At least we're talking about something that really matters. Not really.
It does
But
really matter, man, because it's something that makes us happy. Gives us something to look forward to in the dog days of wintertime or summer or whatever. And it is important. It's nice to get content out there on the interwebs that you can go back. You're in the car for a long time. You can go check it out. You can listen to yourself. You can laugh about how crappy you sound or how terrible I look or whatever. And that means something. Our job is to bring joy to our viewers. And damn it, that's what we do.
it
All
it's funny because
29 trillion of them.
no, but I rewatch these sometimes and
Mhm.
some of the predictions and stuff that I make, I just laugh because what actually happens is completely the opposite. So I think that's hilarious because I try to sound smart and like I know what I'm talking about, and then the Eagles go out there win by 30 points. So
Hey,
just
look,
to,
I picked the Chiefs too. I mean, we had good reasons. We both wanted the Eagles to win the game. We just
right.
didn't, I thought that they would get Mahomes at the end, and it turned out they tush pushed the hell out of the Chiefs. And that was, man, uh that was almost a month ago now. It was a month ago now. I just don't know where time goes. It's just crazy. Yeah, we've been in that kind of purgatory time between the Super Bowl and the college basketball tournament. I don't know about you. I didn't give a rat's ass about the NFL Combine. That's not something I care about unless you're that LSU offensive tackle who's really good, whose arms were like an inch too short. I'm sure he's concerned about that, and the NFL GMs are. But this is kind of a downtime for sports. But we got some UFC news coming up. Really awesome stuff today. We got our tickets for UFC Kansas City on the 26th of April. Jaws on Sports will be there, Octagon side, sitting next to Dana White, doing commentary with DC, having beers with Chell, P, Sonnen afterward. It's going to be a great time. Come see
No,
us.
no beers, none of that.
We're going to be having a Dr. Pepper
There you go.
floats from Whataburger brought in.
I like the
And
sound of that.
uh,
That's much
Casey
better.
Joe's Barbecue catered to us, Octagon side on the 26th of April. If you're in Kansas City, drop by and say hi. It's going to be a fun time.
No one is gonna be in Kansas City. All right,
Hey,
it's just
Kansas
gonna.
City is a cool town. We've been there before. We went to our first UFC show almost 2 years ago, and that was in Kansas City. Max Holloway. That was a fun night, and we are going back, and we are going to barbecue it up. You got to hit Joe's, and we're gonna try Gates barbecue this time, right?
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
see how it goes. But all right, so people won't get bored here.
I know, man. They're taking notes down when they pass through Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't know, but Solid card. I'd say it's like a out of 10. I give it 7. I think it's pretty good. Um,
I haven't really looked past the main event. They already get no, they got people under already, don't they?
oh, I'm talking about the fights tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just kind of yeah, never mind. Okay. I was out there on Pluto going through the Kansas City Fight Night, but we got UFC 313 tomorrow, and we got the light heavyweight champion is back. Man. So Zach, take it away.
Yeah, I'm starting with the second prelim fight. Uh, El Guapo and Castaneda, however you say that name. It's a good fight there. I think they'll throw down. Um, Dudes have really long arms and limbs. Gutierrez, we watched him fight in Kansas City.
Yeah, I remember.
He's been on a bit of a skid, but he's fun to watch. I think I saw a stat. He has the second most leg kicks in UFC history, something like that. So he likes to slam his legs into other dudes. So it's always fun to watch guys that mix that in, don't just box.
I could be
But
wrong, but I think he's the guy who knocked Frankie Edgar, the great Frankie Edgar, into retirement. I could be wrong, but I
I
think,
believe so. Yeah,
yeah, it
he
was November 2022. I think that he did.
yeah that was a pretty bad one. I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that's a good scrap right there. Those guys are gonna swing on each other. 3 round fight, I think. Just really stand up
Yeah, it's
at
always
the.
pretty interesting to see these 5'9" guys who come in at featherweight. For our new viewers out there, or if you're not yet a giant fan of the UFC, the featherweight division is 145. However, I'm looking at ESPN.com right now has a card. They have these guys at 136. Is this going to be a catchweight fight or something? Did I miss something, or they just get it wrong? Maybe they got it wrong.
No, yeah, because Gutierrez is a
Because I thought they
he
were bantamweights.
right. Well,
Yeah.
he is. So I don't know. That's it's interesting. Regardless if it is or not, I don't know if that's short notice or something, and that might be the explanation there. But good fight either way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And moving up, Bruno Ferreira. I don't know how the Brazilians pronounce their R's, but him and Armin Petrosyan, that's a good fight right there. Um,
Middleweight
I
strip.
I believe we saw Bruno in Louisville.
I think we did.
Yeah, he
I'm
floored
pulling
one
him
of
up
the
right
dudes.
now.
I think that he floored the dude really bad.
He was very entertaining out there.
He swings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We saw him.
He
Uh,
got tired, but he swings like crazy.
he got submitted last time by the German guy, Albus Magomedov. I don't even remember him. That was back. That was a long time ago. It was back in October.
Yeah, I don't remember who he fought when we saw him, but
Yeah.
is he the Hulk? I think that's
I
his
think
name or
he's
something.
the yeah, they call him the Hulk.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I like watching them. Let's see. Trying to remember. Let's see. Fight night. Yeah, so he fought Stoltzfus
Yeah,
and not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was it.
Yeah, yeah. So he's fun to watch. He's not a big guy for 185, but he's built like a fridge. He's
Mhm.
and Petrosyan much bigger. The height difference here is pretty substantial, but reach wise
Yeah, it's
for
about
Hay,
the same. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So
It's interesting you mentioned that, the height difference and how Bruno isn't he's not real tall for 185 now. Like on a good day, okay? On a really good day, if I got my shoes on, I can be 5'10" if my posture is absolutely perfect. And these days I'm about 186, 188, okay? And I'm prepping for my Octagon debut later this year with a show. and possibly a corner on to discuss. But it's interesting that you and I are built similarly, and 5'10", 185 for the general population, that's a good healthy weight, size. But in the UFC, you got these middleweights at the 185, like his opponent 6'3". Um, Alex, he is middleweight. He was what? He's 6'4", isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, Anderson Silva, all-time great, 6'3". These guys are really tall. Now, when they get into the when they go to the weigh-in, they weigh at the middleweight limit of 185, but they walk around probably 210, 215, sometimes even 220 if they cut a bunch of weight. So when you got a guy like Bruno the Hulk here, this guy was freaking, he was built like a freaking old school cigarette machine out there, with the head attached to the top of it, 5'10" and probably 215 or so come fight night.
My thing about this fight though is Petrosyan's bigger, but that just gives Bruno a bigger target, I think.
Yeah.
So, like you said, he's not very big for the weight class, but that can actually be his advantage if he can get him against the cage like he did in Louisville. So that'll be a fun fight, I think. I could see Bruno getting it done, but I just think the body's going to be there for him. I don't
Mhm.
remember too much about the fight with Stoltzfus. I just know that he floored him. But
He
if
floored him,
he,
man, and the crowd went nuts.
yeah, but yeah, dig the body. That torso's huge on Petrosyan, 6'3".
Yeah,
So
he's coming off of two losses, a knockout and a submission, but this is his first fight of 2025.
should be a good one.
Yeah,
So next one after that, Van and Ray from Japan. Don't know too much about them, but the emergence of Japanese fighters in the UFC and just MMA in general. I think it's pretty exciting to see. Uh, I think Kai Asakura fought Pantoja a couple months ago, had a good
yeah.
performance, got finished, but um, I think it's cool to see these guys from Asia that are popping up more. And this should be a good fight. These are the smaller dudes at flyweight, so they're gonna get in there and they're gonna swing at each other. I like the prelim fights more, I think, on this card, just because they're smaller guys, and in the prelim fights, they're fighting for that bonus, so they're gonna go out there and swing.
Yeah,
But
we've been talking about that for years, just two of us, and then my brother and I were talking about it going way back to the old school, no rules, hair pulling days of the UFC. How you've got the main card guys, and they're getting the cut of the pay-per-view buys and all that, and then whoever's in the main event, they tend to make a lot more. You got your bonus structures with the fight of the night, knockout of the night, submission of the night, whatever. But then the guys in the prelims, we've been to two UFC shows so far, and I know that a lot of our viewers that tune in to UFC fights, that maybe they just watch the main card, but you're missing it, man, if you don't tune into the prelims because they're going for it. It doesn't matter what kind of record they have. Doesn't matter how much you might think that they suck from the comfort and safety of your couch. These fighters are literally fighting for their life. And we've seen some hellacious shows in person with the prelim fights. And then, of course, watching it on TV. So if you haven't tuned in to an entire UFC event, it's a good 6 hour show. Okay. But it's never ever slow. They have this great system. The fighters go, they have their fight, they interview or they don't, with Bisping or DC. They get out of there, they clear the ring, and then the music comes on, the lights go crazy over the octagon, and then they start doing the video package for the next fight. It just moves. It's a machine. It's amazing to check out. So um, it's not the same on TV, but it's still a really fun time when you're watching a fight card.
right, so these prelim dudes that I wouldn't miss out. especially the featured one with Blades and Unayev. We were talking a little bit about that. The opponent for Blades here, I butchered his name, I'm sure, but I what I've heard is he popped for performance enhancers, and I don't know if he was in the PFL or somewhere else,
I'm
but
looking him up right now. He's been
yeah,
all over the freaking place. He was in the PFL. He's been in Dana White's Contender Series twice, which is weird. Uh, but then I think that Eagle Fighting Championships, that's Khabib's,
right.
and this guy's been all over the place. Looks like he's been in Japan. Um, there's even a good Lord Tesla Fighting Championships 4. Wow, that's like 2012. That's ancient stuff. This guy is an unknown here. In his UFC fights, which are Dana White Contender Series, he's got two KOs, but there's no telling what we're going to get with him. You know, Curtis Blades is a battle-tested guy. He's fought for the title. You know what you're going to get with him. But he's had some heavy hands here in recent times. I always used to think of him as just a wrestler, but he could throw the leather around.
Yeah, his hands have definitely improved over the last even 2 years. But I guess this dude, I don't know if the UFC is just trying to get another scary Russian guy at heavyweight because heavyweight's kind of bland right now. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
in total they have 30 on the roster. So half the guys are ranked, half aren't. So this could be them trying to push this guy. But Curtis Blades, like he said, he's been swinging a lot better and he's a lot more technical than some heavyweights are with his striking. So he tends to get these fraud check fights and he does his job and you don't really hear about the guy after that. So I
Yeah,
think Blades is gonna be a tough.
if you look at Curtis Blades, the fights he's lost in recent times, his last fight was way back in July last year, intern title fight against Tom Aspinall, and he lost that one. But you go back, he actually beat Aspinall back in 2022. He beat Sergey Pavlik. Uh, he got KO'd by Derek Lewis because Derek's balls was hot that day. He had to knock him out. But Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, Marca, Curtis Blades has been in there with heavyweight MMA royalty. And it seems like the dude has been around forever. He's just 34, which isn't ancient in heavyweight age. But I kind of liked how you said that. He gets these the fraud alert guys.
Yep. Yeah, I could see him starching this dude or taking him down and pummeling him for three
Yeah,
rounds.
I can see that.
All right, main card here. Um, Bobby Green and Mauricio Ruffy.
Ruffy is a minus 475 favorite. It's the biggest favorite on the card.
He's a bad man.
Lightweight scrap here, man.
Yeah, this is all stand up right here. Ruffy, he's very unorthodox with this style. I wouldn't say it's really parallel, but he kind of reminds me of Yuri Prohaska, how he's just so all over the place, but he gets it done. And Bobby Green, he always has his hands down, so he hits you from these weird angles, but he's so fast and he's looking for bonus money. All right, so I don't think he's at a point in his career where he's trying to climb the ladder to be the best. I think he's trying to put you out and get the $50,000. So I think this is a fantastic fight to open the card because I just think they're going to go in there and try to put each other's lights out.
Yeah, check out these guys that Bobby Green's been in the octagon with. King Green here at age 38. He lost to Patty Primmett last time, but he's been there with the OG Jim Miller, Jalen Turner, freaking Tony Ferguson. This guy Islam somebody. I think he's the champ. Yeah, that guy. Uh, just been in with all kinds of dudes, even going way back. the great Clay the Carpenter Guida, who I believe just got released by UFC after a million years. Yeah, he's going for those fight of the night, knockout of the night. And it's even more awesome. The stakes are raised because he's on the main card.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's fun to watch. He's really quick twitch, and if he gets into his flow, he's hard to stop. He starts talking to you, and he he pops you with that jab, and then your face might end up like the Jim Miller fight, where you just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really bad. I think he's coming off a really really bad knockout from Jalen Turner, if I'm correct. I don't know if that's
Actually, that was a couple fights ago.
okay. He's had fights since then.
Yeah, Patty Pimblett knocked him out back in July.
Okay,
Tim Miller. It was in December of 23. Jalen Turner knocked the crap out of him. I remember that.
yeah, that was bad, but
Yeah.
I could see him making some highlights in this one. That's going to be a great fight. That's they put that fight first so that everyone's in their seat at the start of the main card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I'll take Ruffy on that one just because he's on that upward trajectory right now. Another Brazilian dude that's doing really well. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be a great. But
Yeah.
I'm taking.
I'm gonna go with the king on this one just for old time's sake. I love this guy, Bobby Green, the king. If nothing else, it'd be freaking awesome to see him get interviewed after knocking out his opponent after the fight. That'd be really cool. Um, we'll see. We'll see.
That's a good scrap. Um, Fight of the night right here. Jalen Turner, Ignacio Bahamondes. I remember first week in Norman, Oklahoma. I was at Shalotsky's for dinner, and I was waiting for my
Respect the Schlatskys.
yeah, I was waiting for my sandwich, and I was watching Baja Mondes. He was just on the prelims, I think. But him and this other dude, I can't remember his name, but he had yellow shorts on, and they just swung at each other. It was crazy. It was a great fight. And then the final, I don't know, probably minute of the third round, Baja Mondes had this spinning heel kick and knocked him out cold. I was like, this guy's crazy. And I love this fight because Jalen Turner, he's been such a mismatch at lightweight because of his height. He's fighting a dude that's the same height as he is.
Yeah, they both
155
these
pounds.
155 pound guys, both of them are 6 foot freaking three with
Yes.
almost John Jones like reach. That's nuts.
It's ridiculous. This is the main event with their reach and height, but at 155 pounds, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Jalen Turner. He's got pop on his punches. He doesn't push his punches. So by push, I mean got it here, and you kind of just dig it into him.
Mhm.
He pops you really fast, kind of like
Yeah,
jabs, but he does it with his right hand too, or his left hand because he's southpaw.
yeah.
But he's the good teep kick to the body down the middle, and I think this is a great fight because there's not a reach advantage. They're the same height. Bahamondes, he switches stances a lot, and he gets into his combos by stepping over. So this is a fun fight. I think this is fight of the night. These guys are going to beat each other up. I think that I like Turner. I think he shaved his hair off. He's got a new haircut. Sometimes that makes you a better fighter. Sometimes it doesn't. Um, but I like Bob Mendez. I think that he's got too many strikes in his arsenal. But this is fight of the night. These guys are gonna beat each other up, throw some crazy kicks, nasty body shots. Both guys dig the body really well, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's rare that you see guys this tall, lanky at like 155 or even welterweight. It's just pretty wild. You're gonna see all kinds of limbs out there flying all over the place. It'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool. I'm
If
gonna
they get
take, I'm gonna
right,
take Jalen Turner. I think he's gonna catch him at some point. But
that's a fair pick. I just think if they get in tight, um, Turner doesn't use his knees, but he uses elbows really well. But my thing, Baja Mendez uses everything. He uses his legs, his knees, elbows, everything.
yeah,
I just think if they do come together, if it's a kickboxing fight on the outside, it's still gonna be fun. But I'm taking Baja Mendez by
yeah,
decision.
Sounds good. Yeah, we got about 9 minutes left in our show tonight, folks. So we got the co-main event, the great Justin Gaethje. Uh, was that the last time we saw him? He was meeting Max Holloway in the middle of the octagon, and he got knocked you know what out. Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
remembers that. That was almost a freaking year ago now, April of last year. But he's back. It's good to see him back. He's been in there at the best of the best, had title fights. Um, just the guy puts it all out on the line. He's kind of taking on, I don't know. I don't know about Raphael here. Dude's
Well,
dangerous. I know that.
he's always ready to fight, though. I don't think this is really a short notice fight. I think it is because of it being scheduled late, but I think he's always training. So I don't expect him to get tired at all. But Gaethje in the first fight, he got beat up in the first round, and then second and third, he started building and beat up Fiziev.
Yeah.
So the key for him coming back was his jab. He's very technical. He had his elbows in. He was defending pretty well. Um, the speed is obviously for Fiziev. He's faster than he is, but Gaethje's counters and his timing, I think that'll put him over the top. It was the jab in the first fight. I think it's gonna be the leg kicks in this fight. Gaethje's leg kicks, he doesn't really take any account for his health or his leg health. He just slams his shin into the
Yeah.
opponents. I think the leg kicks are going to be big in this fight. Fiziev loves throwing the body kicks. He's lightning quick. This will be a great fight. I don't think either of these guys will go out, but it'll be interesting to see Gaethje after that knockout. I don't think it'll bother him that much. I think he's just a wild man, and
It's yeah,
he's gonna go in.
it's been almost a year. You know, you never know about these guys psychologically. Yeah, they're going to be in shape, but does he have enough distance between that Max Holloway fight to where he comes back and he kicks ass? We'll uh we'll see. I'm going to go with Justin. I mean, he won majority decision. I was just looking that up about 2 years ago. I think the fight will be similar, probably, 29-28.
Fiziev, he's always jumping on his feet. He's bouncing. He's never really in one spot, but I really do think it'll be the leg kicks this time for Gaethje, and I think he'll hit some nasty uppercut down the middle. He sets those up really well, like the Michael Chandler fight. Probably
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite setup ever. Cracked him bad, so I'll take Gaethje by decision.
All right, man. Well, here we go. Main event. Big Alex is back. He's my guy. He is my current favorite fighter in the UFC. I jumped on his bandwagon a couple fights ago. The guy doesn't have to do this stuff, two division champ. When I say doesn't have to do this stuff, he doesn't have to fight as much as he does. But he is a freaking monster out there. But what do you think of his opponent?
Well, Magomed, he's said that he's gonna try to stand, and I don't know why these guys keep trying to stand with Pereira. I mean, when Izzy Pereira fought the first time, they were striking, and then Izzy took him down, beat him up, and then they went back to striking. But since then, no one's really employed that except Blachowicz, and he lost that fight.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Pereira's no slouch on the ground, but I don't think anyone should stand with this guy. Um, his hands are stones. That's a bad man. His leg kicks are nasty. I think I'm going to say this right now. First exchange in the middle, Pereira's going to be standing up like he does with his posture. He's going to hit him with a leg kick, and it's Ankalaev's going to be in trouble right away. I think he's going to be compromised by the first one or two kicks to the leg.
yeah. I think Omegamed, he is getting a lot of juice in this fight. I mean, he's a minus 105. Alex is a minus 115. Yeah, I don't bet on these things, but it's fun to look at the Vegas odds on these things. Um, I just don't think that this guy can stand in there. Obviously, he's got the on paper edge in the grappling department, yeah, but I think this is going to be a first round knockout. I might be nuts, but I think about the 3.5 minute mark of the first round, Alex is going to hit him with the right hand. Um, Magomed's he's going to get stunned, and he's going to go down, ground and pound, TKO, 3.5 minutes of the first round. Don't bet on it. Don't write it down. Don't don't do any of that crap. But that's what I think is going to happen.
All comes down to that first exchange in the first round. Because once he feels his presence and his power, I think Joe Rogan calls it nuclear power.
Yeah, it does.
This
Yeah.
guy, this is something we haven't seen. And the big Israel Adesanya fan, I was a big hater of Pereira when they fought the first time, but he put him away, and I was like, this guy's just that good.
Hmm.
And it's crazy watching him fight because he's not in his prime, but he is just so dominant right now, and he's really lifted the UFC up. So, um, first exchange, I think they're gonna meet in the middle. It's a little bit weird with the kicking because Ankalaev is a southpaw and Pereira's orthodox. So that lead leg kick that he likes to throw, I don't know if it'll be there as much, but I really do think because Jan Blachowicz destroyed Ankalaev's legs.
Hmm.
So Pereira, the best leg kicker in the game right now, I think he's gonna chop his legs up. And then if Ankalaev can get him on the ground and do that continuously, then maybe it could be a fight. But I don't know why guys keep standing with this dude. He keeps putting dudes out, putting them on highlights every single time he goes out there.
Yeah.
The path to victory is to wrestle, but I just don't think he's going to. I think it's an ego thing. But yeah, I think I think this might be attrition based, kind of like the Khalil Roundtree fight. I think he's gonna chop the legs, jab to the body, and then he's gonna get him against the fence. When Prayer gets you against the fence, he just wails on you. He can smell blood. I think he's gonna put him away, probably fourth round.
Okay. Well, we only got about a minute left in our show, folks. So yeah, UFC 313 tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time. We already got our tickets for Fight Night in Kansas City at 26th of April. We'll definitely have probably a couple more shows between now and then. We got the basketball tournament coming up. It's on the horizon. We'll do our show before that starts. Shoot, that's two weekends. Wow. Wow. Coming up fast. Just good stuff coming up. We've had a little lull in the action between the Super Bowl and now, but the sports world's starting to heat up. We got other stuff. We got Formula One, Drive for Survive. The new season dropped today. I'm going to check that out. Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari now. That's nuts. It'll be a fun season. Maybe somebody can unseat the great Max Verstappen. We'll see. But that's the end of our show tonight, folks. Thanks for joining. We'll see you again in a few weeks. Um, any last words before we get cut off in 15 seconds?
Stone Hands moves to heavyweight after this knockout.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
not a prediction. That's a spoiler, folks, for our Paul Heyman fans out there. I'd like to see it. I like to see him go up. All right, folks, have a good night. Jaws on Sports. Like us, subscribe us to all your freaking friends and their friends and so on and so forth. And we're a hell of a lot better than like the Paul brothers and that crap. So